All right, Luca said. Everybody out.
Tomasino said, "Why can't we talk right here where we are?"
It's beautiful out there, Luca said. We'll get a little fresh air.
He pulled his pistol from his shoulder holster and pointed it at Tomasino's face.
I think we should talk by the water.
Tomasino shook his head in disgust and got out of the car. Hooks got out of the back seat, followed by Jojo, who had a gun in each hand. They lined up Tomasino and his boys with their backs to the water. Luca turned to Vic, who was leaning against the front fender of the Buick. "What are you doing?" he said. "Get over there with the rest of them." "Sure," Vic. "Oh,
what are you doing? Get over there with the rest of them."
"Sure," Vic said, and he got in line next to Nicky. "Sfakim," S-F-A-C-C-I-M. I don't know my Italian. Tomasino said, "You kill me and Joe will bury you. He'll kill every fucking one of you and he'll take his time doing it. And for what, you stupid bastard? It wasn't us. And we had nothing to do with trying to rub you out. I told your boy, if we wanted you dead, you'd be dead."
"Jesus," Luca said. "Relax, Tommy. I got no intention of killing you."
"Then why have you got us lined up here like this?" Luca shrugged.
"You wanted to talk to me?" he said. "So talk to me."
Tomasino looked to his boys and then back to Luca. "This is no way to talk."
"Maybe,"
Luca said.
"But you don't have any other options, so talk."
Tomasino looked at his boys again, as if he was worried about them. To Luca, he said, "This was a no big deal. Joe ain't losing his mind over a few shipments. It ain't right, though, and you know it. We want to know who's hitting us. We got no beef with you. You're a businessman. We understand that, but we want the bastards that have been hitting us, and we want you to give them to us. It's not about the money at this point. It's about respect." Luca listened and seemed to consider Tommy's demand. Then he said,
"Well, I'm not giving them to you. That's the deal I made. I'd middle the hooch and I'd keep them out of it."
"Luca," Tommy said, and glanced over at his boys. "Do you know who you're dealing with? You want to take on Gatsby Mariposa, the Barzinis, me, Frankie Five Angels, the Rosados, and all our boys? You understand you're talking about a big organization and getting bigger."
"You mean LaConte?"
Luca said. "Yeah, LaConte. We'll have his whole organization in a matter of days. You understand all this? You understand we're talking about hundreds of guys. And you got what? You and 4 or 5 guys? Don't be crazy, Luca. Just give us the clowns been jacking us and we're done. I'll even forget about this crazy bullshit today. I'll give you my word, we won't come after you and your boys." Luca took a step back and looked over the water. Beyond the docks, gulls were swooping and squawking. The sky was blue over gray water, and a few fat white clouds floated by.
"All right," he said. "That's your message? That's what you wanted to tell me?"
"Yeah," Tomasino said. "That's it."
"Here's my message for you to bring back to Joe," he said.
He gazed at the clouds and water, as if he were thinking about something.
"If the dentist here moves," he said to Hooks, "put a bullet through his head." To Jojo, he said, "You too. Anybody moves, you kill him."
Tomasino said, "Jesus Christ, Luca." Before Tomasino could say anything more, Luca shot Grizz point blank in the head. Between the eyes. The kid's arms flew up as his body tumbled off the pier. He hit the water and sank instantly, leaving only his hat floating on the surface. Tomasino's face turned white, and the kid, Vic, covered his eyes. Nicky was expressionless, but he was wheezing with every breath. To Tomasino, Luca said, "Tell Gatsby Mariposa I'm not a man he can treat with disrespect. Tell him that if I find out he was trying to rub me out, I'm going to kill him. You think you can deliver that message for me, Tommy?" "Sure," Tomasino said, his voice scratchy. I can do that."
"Good,"
Luca said, and then he turned to his gun on Vic. The kid looked at him and smiled. He took his hat off, still smiling. He ran his fingers over his hair just as Luca pulled the trigger. He shot him 3 more times as he fell, until the kid disappeared under the water. In the quiet afterward, Tomasino said, his voice suddenly felt as frail as delicate as a girl's. "What are you doing this for, Luca? What's wrong with you?"
"Grizz was part of my message for Joe," Luca said, "so he has no doubt who he's dealing with. About the kid, Vic, I was just saving you the trouble. You were going to kill him anyway, right?"
"You done?" Tomasino said. "Because if you're going to kill me and Nicky, get it over with."
"Nah, I told the kid I wouldn't kill you," he said, "and I keep my word."
Nicky's wheezing just kept getting louder. Luca said to him,
"You got asthma or something, Nicky?"
Nicky shook his head and then grabbed his mouth, dropped to his knees, and rushed to his hand. You done?" Tomasino asked Luca again.
"Not quite yet,"
Luca said. He took Tomasino by the throat. With one hand, spun him around, and threw 2 quick blows to the face with the butt of his pistol. Tomasino hit his head on the fender of the Buick, and as he went down, his nose spewed blood, and he was cut under one eye. He looked up at Luca blankly before he took a handkerchief out of his pocket and held it to his nose.
I thought about pulling out a couple of your teeth, Luca said. But you know, I figured that was your thing. He unzipped and pissed in the water while Tomasino stared up at him. And he stared up, and he zipped up and mentioned Jojo and Hooks to get in the car, motioned for them to get in the car, Jojo and Hooks. Don't forget to deliver my message, he said to Tomasino, and he started for the Buick. Then he stopped and said, You know what? Like he was changing his mind about something. He went over to Nicky, who was still on his knees, hit him once, boom, viciously over the head with a gun, and then picked up his unconscious body and put it in the trunk of the Buick, before he got into the passenger seat and drove off slowly with his boys.